Reasons for conflict, historical background. The roots of the conflict can be traced back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries when both Jewish and Arab nationalist movements emerged. The Zionist movement, advocating for a Jewish homeland in Palestine, gained momentum in response to anti-Semitic persecution in Europe. British Mandate. After World War I, the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate to govern Palestine. During this period, tensions increased as Jewish immigration to Palestine surged, and Arab residents perceived this as a threat to their demographic and political position. United Nations Partition Plan. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan that would have divided Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with an international administration for Jerusalem. While the Jewish leadership accepted the plan, Arab leaders rejected it, leading to the 1947–1949 Arab-Israeli War. Israeli statehood. In May 1948, David Ben-Gurion, Israel's first prime minister, declared the establishment of the State of Israel. Arab states immediately attacked, and the war ended in 1949 with armistice agreements, establishing Israel's borders. Occupation of Palestinian territories. In the aftermath of the 1967 Six-Day War, Israel occupied the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza Strip, territories that were intended for a future Palestinian state under international agreements. Settlements. The construction of Israeli settlements in the occupied territories has been a major point of contention. Palestinians view these settlements as a violation of their rights and a barrier to a two-state solution. Refugee issue. The status of Palestinian refugees who were displaced in the 1948 and 1967 wars remains a central issue. Palestinians demand the right of return for refugees and their descendants, while Israel opposes this, citing demographic concerns. Course of conflict: 1947 to 1949 Arab-Israeli War. This conflict saw the establishment of Israel and the displacement of Palestinian Arabs. It set the stage for decades of tension. Six-Day War, 1967. Israel launched a preemptive strike against Arab states and captured the West Bank, East Jerusalem, Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, and Golan Heights. This war significantly shaped the conflict's dynamics. First Intifada, 1987 to 1993. A Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation began in 1987. It led to the Oslo Accords in 1993. These agreements aimed to create a Palestinian Authority with limited self-governance in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, leading to the partial withdrawal of Israeli forces from parts of these areas. Second Intifada, 2000 to 2005. A violent uprising erupted after the failure of the Camp David talks. The conflict resulted in heavy casualties and deepened mistrust between Israelis and Palestinians. Gaza disengagement, 2005. Israel unilaterally withdrew from the Gaza Strip in 2005, dismantling settlements and evacuating Israeli civilians. Hamas takeover of Gaza, 2007. In 2007, Hamas, a Palestinian militant group, took control of Gaza, while the West Bank remained under the Palestinian Authority. Ongoing violence. The conflict has seen periods of violence, including conflicts in Gaza, 2008-2009, 2012, 2014, 2023, and recurring tensions in Jerusalem, including the clashes around the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Outcomes: stalled peace process. Despite multiple rounds of negotiations and peace initiatives, a final resolution to the conflict remains elusive. Fundamental issues like borders, the status of Jerusalem, security, and refugees continue to divide the parties. Two-state solution. The two-state solution, envisioning a Palestinian state alongside Israel, has been a widely accepted framework for resolving the conflict. However, the expansion of Israeli settlements and political divisions among Palestinians have made it increasingly challenging to achieve. International involvement. The international community, including the United States, the United Nations, and the European Union, has been actively engaged in facilitating peace negotiations, but progress has been limited. Divergent leadership. Internal divisions among the Palestinian leadership, with Hamas controlling Gaza and the Palestinian Authority governing the West Bank, have hindered efforts to present a unified front in negotiations with Israel. Regional dynamics. The conflict has regional implications, with neighboring countries, particularly Jordan and Egypt, having a stake in its resolution. The broader Middle East context, including the Arab-Israeli conflict, also affects the situation.